Welcome to another video, and I hope you're all well. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the cockpit drill. These are the 5 safety checks that you need to do before you set off in your vehicle. It could be your instructor's car, it could be a hire vehicle. So if you're getting in that vehicle, you need to make sure all the controls are comfortable for you to drive. There's 5 checks that you need to do, the necessary checks. These are doors, seat, steering wheel, seatbelt, and mirrors. So that's D.S.S.S.M, which is doors, seat, steering, seatbelt, mirrors. So let's get started. So the first one is D, which is doors. So you need to make sure all of your doors are closed properly before you set off. This includes not just only your door, but your passenger doors as well. So whether you've got doors at the back or on the front as well, you need to make sure they're all closed. It's your responsibility as a driver to make sure all the doors are closed. So for example, if you set off and one of the doors wasn't closed properly and it opened, it would be your responsibility. So I'm going to go over each one, how to check the doors and what you need to be looking out for. So to make sure that the doors are closed properly, there's various different ways that you can check this. One, you can just check your door by holding the handle and just giving it a little bit of a tug to make sure it's closed. And the other one is to make sure that this interior light has gone off as well, because if the interior light is on, that means your door might still be open. And it might even tell you on the dashboard, an indicator to tell if the doors are open. So there's different various ways of knowing if your doors are open. And like I said before, you need to make sure all doors are closed before you set off. So one way of knowing if your door is open, you can always just check by holding the door handle and giving it a tug just to make sure the door is closed properly. And another way of checking if the door's closed properly is on your dashboard. If the door is open, for example, let me just show you. If I open the door now, and if I look here, it will show me that the door is open. So this is not always the case on every car, but some cars do indicate on the actual dashboard if the door is open. Another way of checking is if your interior light is still on, that may be an indicator that your door is open. So if I close the door, and now my interior light has gone off, which is an indicator that my doors are closed. Another way to check if your doors are closed properly, you can look through your mirrors and see if your doors are in line with the bodywork to make sure that they close properly. So for example here, I'm looking through the driver's side door mirror and I can see that the door is closed properly because it's in line with the bodywork behind the back door. And I can do the same on the other side. So now I'm looking through the passenger side door mirror and I'm just making sure that it's closed properly as well, and I can tell it's in line with the bodywork, so that indicates that these doors on the left passenger side are closed as well. So what you're looking for is making sure the door bit is flush through the mirror, and it needs to be like that, nice and flush. So the next check that we need to do is the seat, and we need to adjust the seat so it's correctly adjusted, so we can press the clutch pedal all the way down and we can hold the steering wheel correctly and our back is resting properly against the seat. So let me show you how to do this. So with the seat, there's a lever just at the bottom. I need to pull up and adjust it with that to make sure it's the correct position. So this is the lever that I need to pull up first, and then I can move this seat back and forwards by pulling this lever. In some cars, it will let you adjust the seat height as well, up and down. So, for example, on this car, it's on the right hand side to adjust the seat. So this lever on this particular car here adjusts the height of the seat. So if I pull the lever up, and I can move the seat up and down to where I require it. It's also very important that you adjust your headrest so it's at the correct position. And the correct position for the headrest is basically, so the middle of the headrest should be in the middle of your head. This will minimize you getting whiplash in case you had an accident. And usually the headrest can be adjusted by a button on the side, push the button in, and then you can move the headrest up or down depending on where you need to put the headrest. Every car is different on where the button is, but you will usually find it just on the side of the headrest. The other thing that you need to be checking out for when adjusting the seat is making sure your back is at the correct position. So for example, you don't want to be laid back too far back. So let me just show you. So like this, almost like I'm sat in the living room on a recliner. You know, this is not a good position. It'll probably make you feel sleepy. And plus, you're not really kind of that close to the steering wheel where you're at a comfortable distance where you can actually turn the steering wheel properly. So that would not be the correct position. And the other example, you don't want to go too far the other way. So for example, you don't want to be like really close to the steering wheel like this. And basically just kind of sat on top of the steering wheel. This is not safe. Okay. And what you want to be doing is probably having it roundabout so your back is kind of straight and your elbows are slightly bent as you're holding the steering wheel. So you're not too stretched and you're not too close to the steering wheel, like this. The next one is the steering wheel. It's important that you set the steering wheel at the correct position and then you're holding it comfortably, 10-2 or 1/4-3 position. So to adjust the steering wheel, there's a lever here on the left hand side of the steering column. If I just pull this lever, and then I can move the steering wheel up and down, and I can pull the steering wheel out or in. So I just adjust it to where I want it. Once I've got it where I want, then I just pull the lever back in place and just check the steering wheel is firm. Also, when adjusting the steering wheel, you want to make sure it's adjusted correctly so it's not hitting your knees or your leg while you're driving. If the steering wheel is too low down, then this can happen, and that would be restrict when you're turning the steering wheel. Also, the steering wheel needs to be adjusted correctly so you can see the dials properly as well. So you want to make sure the steering wheel is at a point where you can clearly see the dials in front of you. So we've done the doors, we've done the seat, we've done the steering wheel. So what's next? The seat belt. So bring the seat belt over with your right hand, right over across your chest, clicks in, and you want to make sure there's no knots or ties. Just run your finger straight through like this, just making sure it's correct. The position of the seat belt should be in the correct position as well. So as it's going over across your chest, it shouldn't be cutting into your neck here. So for example, if you was to brake quite sharp and you went forward, it would lock the seat belt, and you don't want that cutting into your neck because that would be potentially quite dangerous. So it needs to be somewhere running across your shoulder there. So if it did lock, it would hold you in position like that. It's very important that you wear your seatbelt at all times for your own safety. Even before you actually start the engine, your seatbelt must be on. And that's the reason why we go through each one individually. For example, the doors first, then the seat, the steering wheel, the seatbelt, the mirrors. Once you've done all these things, then you can start the engine. So we've done the doors, we've done the seat, we've done the steering wheel, we've done the seatbelt, and then the next one, last but definitely not least, is your mirrors. So to adjust the mirrors, you basically just sit in the normal driving position, and then with your left hand, hold it around the mirror, so you're not actually holding the mirror, and then adjust it to where you need the mirror to be. So I would hold the mirror on the side with my left hand in my normal driving position so I can get a good view out of the back. And if I need to adjust it, so I'm not actually holding the glass, but holding the mirror on the side. And with your external mirrors, door mirrors, you can adjust these by the controls on your doors. They will vary car to car depending on where the controls are for your particular vehicle. So to adjust the mirrors on this particular vehicle, the controls are just here. So if I click this, which is on the right hand side, then I can move the mirrors by using this control, and it moves the mirror. And I want to adjust it, so basically I want it so I can see a little bit of the car and then most of what's behind me. So that could be road, trees, houses, like this. And if I want to adjust the left hand side mirror, I click this to the left and then I can move it with this. And same on the left hand side. I want to adjust it so I don't want to see too much of the car like this. I want to see a little bit of the car, but most of what's behind me, like this. So once you've done the mirrors, you are now ready to drive. So just to recap on that, so the first thing that we did was doors, then we did the seat, then the steering wheel, the seat belt, and then mirrors. And now we're ready to drive. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel if you already haven't done. Thank you very much. Take care. See you later. Goodbye.